Welcome to Law Ignite, your go-to destination for demystifying the world's most challenging legal dilemmas, made relevant. Press that subscribe button if you're interested in law in simple terms, real-life accounts, and solutions to the world's biggest questions, just like today's. Why should you care? Have you ever questioned what safeguards individuals who lose everything during war, their homes, homeland, even loved ones? Consider the children running from bombs in Gaza or the families forced out overnight in Ukraine. There are unspoken rules that determine whether these individuals receive shelter, protection, or are rejected at a border. That's international refugee law, and understanding how it operates may alter how you perceive the world. What is international refugee law? International refugee law is the area of international law that defends individuals compelled to leave their home nations as a result of war, persecution, or violence. Its rhythm is human rights, protection, security, and the right not to be returned to harm. That's non-refoulement. The principal legal tool, the 1951 Refugee Convention and its 1967 Protocol. Who enforces it? Mainly the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, who operates worldwide to safeguard and assist refugees. Who is a refugee? A refugee is somebody who is beyond their country of nationality or usual residence, has a well-founded fear of persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, being a member of a specific social group or political opinion, cannot or refuses to seek protection from their own state. How does this law work during war? Let's humanize this. Imagine you're living in Ukraine or Gaza, and suddenly your world shatters. Example: Russia-Ukraine war. After Russia's invasion, millions of Ukrainians fled, seeking safety in neighboring countries. Temporary protection measures were put in place in many European countries, allowing Ukrainians to stay, work, and access services, all underpinned by refugee law. These enactments ensure refugees cannot be repatriated to a war situation, non-refoulement, and assist them in establishing lives, at least temporarily. Another example, Israel-Gaza conflict. What is happening in Gaza is horrifying. Some cannot flee, but those who are able to escape are accepted as refugees and are meant to be covered by international law. UNRWA, UN Relief and Works Agency, also intervenes on behalf of Palestinian refugees, but if it cannot ensure safety, those who are fleeing from Gaza should be entitled to the broader Refugee Convention, i.e., they should be protected internationally, even without showing individual persecution. War and the law, international humanitarian law, think Geneva Conventions, and refugee law complement each other. Civilians, including refugees, cannot be attacked, and they are entitled to protection and assistance in the course of armed conflict. War doesn't cancel out rights. If anything, it makes them all the more essential. The law in real lives international refugee law is not mere words on paper. It's between a mother getting shelter for her children or having to deal with closed doors, between a child getting an education or spending their childhood stateless. How does a refugee apply and get protection? Register with authorities or organizations such as the UNHCR. Assessment is made. Do they qualify as refugees? Rights are extended. Not to be returned to peril, to minimum assistance, and occasionally to resettle elsewhere. What's forbidden? Asylum status or camps can't be used as a front for military operations. The protection is purely civilian. Challenges and criticism. All borders are not open. Some nations erect barriers or constrict definitions, leaving refugees stuck in between. In conflict areas, access to documentation and asylum processes can be almost impossible. Despite the law, millions remain subject to discrimination, detention, and deportation. Next time you view photos of families on the move, children sleeping in tents, or hear of mass flight from war, remember, there are laws intended to safeguard each and every one of them. The question remains, do we, as a global community, enforce them? If you think law exists to serve and protect humanity, join the conversation. Subscribe to Law Ignite and let's get it and question it together. Like, subscribe, and leave your questions in the comments below for our next explainer. Law Ignite exists to shed light, not only on the law, but on the lives it's intended to serve.